What's up, everybody? Mophead here from Eat, Sleep, Mix, Repeat. Sorry, it looks like the lighting's a little crappy, but it's kind of just the way it's going to go right now. So I'll give you guys a little update about things going on right now. This weekend, John is moving into a new house, so I don't know how much we're going to hear from him this weekend. And then 2 weekends from now, I'm moving into a new house. So, yeah, so a lot of kind of stuff going on with the team right now, so content might be a little slow, but we'll try and get stuff out as much as we can. So today I got some more recipe reviews for you guys, 3 recipes, and we'll just get into it. So the first one I have for you is called Lambo Juice. It's by Mark Burton 702. And so the recipe reads is 2% Flavor West blueberry, 3% TFA honeydew, 4% kiwi double TFA, 1% TFA sweet cream, and 1% Flavor Art Vienna cream. So yeah, this recipe kind of caught my interest because I was like, all right, blueberry and melon and kiwi and a little bit of cream. It sounds like a good profile. Definitely, I think something that can be worked out into a pretty good, probably pretty great recipe if you do it right. Melons and florals go really good together, and then blueberry, especially artificial blueberry, especially like Flavor West is a very artificial tasting blueberry, and it has a very like floral kind of feel to it, a lot of floral notes in it, and I think that would really pair well with a honeydew or with a kiwi. So this is actually the recipe I decided to vape on during the video. The recipe is not bad, as I would say, but it needs some work. It's a little disorienting and a little muddled. The blueberry gets really lost in it. I think the Flavor West blueberry really needed to be upped a little bit. And then I think the next problem with it was using honeydew and kiwi together. They're both very upfront, very, very powerful flavors. And those two kind of like upfront, especially at the recipe is total 11%, 7% of that is just between the honeydew and the kiwi. So the honeydew and the kiwi definitely seem to kind of clash together in the front, and then the blueberry gets pretty lost in the back, and then the creams don't do much in this recipe because they're probably too low. They probably add some off notes because of the way it's put together. So I would definitely probably choose either honeydew or kiwi. I think they would both be great choices, but I would just go with one and then maybe drop it just a little bit. Like the honeydew at 3% might be good, but maybe even or the kiwi at 3%, and then maybe bump up the blueberry to like 3 or 4%. And then as far as the creams will go, what I would probably do is just drop the sweet cream. 1% of sweet TFA sweet cream you're really not going to taste. And then bump up the Vienna cream. Vienna creams are great. I actually use Vienna cream a lot when I want to do a good fruit recipe and kind of blend my fruits together. It's like creams are just a good bridge for fruit recipes. So I'd probably just drop the sweet cream and then do the Vienna cream to like 2, maybe even 3%. And then I think that would really like this could be a really good recipe. So I gave it a 2 out of 5 because it's just not very good the way it is. It needs a lot of work. I do like the ideas for the flavor profiles, so I don't know. Maybe I'll kind of try and do my own little version of it. But besides that, it needs work, but it's not bad. So, and then the next one we got is Birthday Cake by Not Charles Manson. And I was pretty excited. I always wanted to try and mix up one of his flavors, and because of my kind of small flavor stash, it's hard for me to just find flavors. I don't have the money to order new ones, but so I had the stuff to make birthday cake. So I'll read you the recipe real quick. It's Inawera biscuit 0.5%, Flavor West cake batter dip at 7%, Flavor Art meringue at 1%, and Capella vanilla bean ice cream at 2%. So this recipe, it's another one. It's pretty good. It's supposed to be kind of like a confetti cake, and you do get the confetti flavor out of it, like the little like confetti sprinkle type deal things. You definitely get that out of it. The texture's pretty off. Like you get a little bit of texture with the Inawera biscuit, but yeah, the Flavor West cake batter dip is really killing it for me in this. I really don't like Flavor West Flavor West cake batter dip very much. To me, it has these weird like fruity off notes to it, and then it's just really thin. Like it doesn't, it's not like nice and thick and creamy. You know, it's thin, almost like a juice would be, and that's kind of what I get out of the texture in this recipe. Is I get this like really kind of juicy. It's not even like a cake batter. It's like a, I don't know, like if you took cake batter and like cut it down with a bunch of water, but there's those weird like fruit off notes, so it's almost like maybe put like apple juice in it or something weird. But so I think honestly the only thing I could say about this recipe is I think if you used Capella cake batter, it would be banging, because everything else in the recipe is spot on. It's just those like weird off notes and texture you get, and that's just from Flavor West cake batter dip in itself. It's just, to me, I don't really like it as a flavor. But so I gave it a 3 out of 5 because yeah, it is a good recipe, and it's even not bad the way it is. I just don't like Flavor West cake batter dip. I would go with Capella, and I think it would really do some wonders for this recipe. So then the last one we have. Another one by Mr. Wayne Walker. Wayne Walker. I always kind of imagine like Wayne's dad is like basically like Chuck Norris or something, or I don't know, like Clint Eastwood in a cowboy hat, and then he came out and he was like, "What do we name him?" I don't know, Wayne Walker. Oh man, that is a great Texas name for a dude who lives in Philadelphia, but right on, I dig it. So oh yeah, so we have Crooks and Cream. And kind of fucked up thing about me reviewing this recipe is if you don't have the original Inawera milk chocolate, you can't mix it. But I had a bunch, and actually I bought the flavorings for this recipe a while ago. It just took me a while to actually like sit down and mix it up. And so I mixed up some, and yeah, it's pretty good. Actually, I really like it. It's supposed to be like pretty much an Oreo milkshake, and I don't get. Probably read you the recipe first. All right, the recipe is Capella chocolate fudge brownie V2 at 3%, Inawera milk chocolate, the original Inawera milk chocolate at 4%, Capella vanilla custard V1 at 1.5%, TFA vanilla swirl at 1.5%, and TFA sweetener at 2%. So yeah, Inawera, they reformulated a bunch of their concentrates not too long ago, and unfortunately milk chocolate was one of them. And I haven't tried the reformulated one, but from what I hear, it's not even worth picking up anymore, which sucks. It's a really good concentrate. Luckily, I have like 30 mils of it, so when that's gone, that's it. But get to play around with it for a little while at least. So right away, you notice the chocolate flavoring in this recipe. It's really nice. It's it's like a milk chocolate, but it's a little darker, kind of what you really get from like an Oreo. Like the chocolate in an Oreo is, it's a little on the darker side, but not quite a dark chocolate. And yeah, he hit that part of it really well. And then the texture's decent in it. It's definitely got that cookie texture to it, which is awesome. And then the cream is in there, like the vanilla custard and vanilla swirl does a good job at making the cream, but it's lacking a little bit, but it's definitely there. I don't really get a milkshake from it, but it is a good Oreo recipe. So if you remember my video I did a little bit ago on the Real Flavors promos, there was the cookies and cream from there, and then if I had to pretty much like compare this to that, this is obviously better. Like, it's definitely fucking better. The flavor is actually pretty similar, but this definitely has better texture to it. The only con I really have with it is the chocolate fudge brownie does bring a little bit of like a cakey texture with it compared to like a cookie texture. Where a cookie texture is a little bit more gritty and kind of hard, and then a brownie is more like a cake, soft and fluffy, and it does carry a little bit of that. So I don't know if that's more mental, but sometimes I kind of get a brownie feel from it. But it's a really good flavoring, and then compared to like the Real Flavors one, yeah, this is definitely, it's kind of like the real deal. And then, but I think with the Real Flavors one, you definitely could tweak it a little bit to make it into your own cookies and cream recipe. But yeah, it's a good recipe. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely, I like it. So yeah, that's about all I have for you guys today. Alright, take it easy.